Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Lapointe, research professor with Florida Atlantic University's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute. In recent years, blue-green algae blooms have worsened in Lake Okeechobee and the downstream St. Lucie and Caloosahatchee estuaries. This video project with the Florida Chamber provides me an opportunity to educate the public about the problem as it relates to excess water and nutrients coming from north of the lake. In fact, the Kissimmee River behind me is the single largest source of water and nutrients to the lake.
The algal blooms of 2018, I believe, are a result of the effects of Hurricane Irma. So a massive amount of fresh water and runoff entered Lake Okeechobee, and just as that water and those nutrients had begun to settle out, we got hit by an extraordinary amount of rainfall in the month of May in 2018.
There's nutrient sources for the excess nutrient locally, and then when you add the nutrients from the lake, and then you freshen up that water body, it leads to those perfect conditions where you can get an algae bloom. And Microcystis is a freshwater algae that can grow in freshwater conditions where there is excess nutrients. And at times it will release its own toxins. It's just part of its being.
Kissimmee River, prior to our channelization, meandered from the upper chain of lakes to Lake Okeechobee. It was 105 miles approximately. We turned that meandering river into a 44-mile straight channel.
Once you straighten it into a canal, it doesn't really have any connection to wetlands. Nutrients can just travel down the canal and get into the lake without much loss of nutrients staying in the watershed.
I believe the long-term solutions to stopping the lake releases really do lie north of Lake Okeechobee. And while Lake Okeechobee is an issue and is something we need to find solutions to stop the discharges, we shouldn't diminish the overwhelming significance of the nutrient loadings that are coming in from the local basins, both in the Caloosahatchee and the St. Lucie estuaries.
We've also seen algae blooms in the St. Lucie with no Lake Okeechobee discharges, where we've had our own issues, where we know that we have higher amount of fresh water coming through from our own local basins. So over time, what we have figured out is when we have septic tanks in areas close to the water, that you can really create a lot of water quality problems as a result of that.
With the development of lands throughout the area, agriculture and residential and cities, urban runoff has added nutrient loads that have really exceeded the capability of the system. It's also well known Lee County has numerous septic tanks, some very old. I believe the last count was nearly 60,000 septic tanks in Lee County alone.
I mean, it's my yard is horrible. We could tell just sitting here, and this isn't even really a bad day. You got whatever the heck's in Lake O, you got the septic tank, you have the perfect storm is what you have. So I'm just worried about what the health risks are.
But there's a very tight link between environmental health and human health. That if we do not protect environmental health, in this case water quality, it can have potentially disastrous consequences for human health.
With this blue-green bacteria, that's a new one on me, and it is foul. And these poor folks living on canals and Cape Coral where it's backed up, and it's just miserable.
They need to fix it soon because I can't live in this anymore. I want to go outside again instead of being inside all day.